Hi guys, Coding Journey here, and I hope this stream is video and stream combined. I hope there are not a lot of problems with the streaming, so there is like a good quality, so I use it as a video. So what we're going to create today is this snake game, which is going to increase the frames per second when you eat this red square. As you can see, it keeps on accelerating, like the frames per second are increasing as the game progresses. So this is what we're going to create right now, and actually we should start. So as usual, we firstly start our HAMP control panel. We open our atom. Actually, this is the project I already created. We're going to open our file explorer, and in JS projects we're going to create a new folder called snake stream. So we're gonna open it, like we're gonna say open folder, JS projects, snake stream. I'll wait a little bit for the load, and I better close this right now. So just set up the things. Yep, okay. File not responding. I don't know what happened. Okay, I think everything's fine. So we, as usual, create a new file called index.html. We create a new file called sketch.js, and a new file called snake.js. So we're going to link in the index the project sketch and snake, and in snake in sketch it's going to be our controls and so on, and the snake is going to be the object, which is like the thing I already closed. Why is it so blurry? Did it fix it? Yes, I fixed it. Alright, so now we can actually start with the writing. So we again can take from W3 schools the thing, or actually just for the HTML I can take it from right here. Like I'm gonna open it with Notepad, and I'm gonna take it. So I paste it. What I'm doing is I import online libraries, as I mentioned in the previous video. Here I import my snake.js and my sketch.js, which are my JavaScript files. So in here, as usual, we've got a function called setup, and inside we create a canvas. Which is gonna be 600 by 600, and we can, maybe for now it's enough, and we can make a function draw with a background of maybe 51, not 50, just so it's not completely dark, and we can actually access it right now. This should be snake stream, and here it is. So if you can't run this project at localhost, make sure you've run HAMP Apache control panel and you have started Apache, so you're able to run it. Like if you stop the Apache control panel, like it will say this site can't be reached, so make sure you start it where you can wait so it turns green, and here it is, it showed up. So what we're going to create, so just a second. I can say right here, I can make a constructor function called, just a second, so my setup is not really good right now. Function snake, where this is a constructor function, that's why it's with a capital letter. So this dot x, remember it's always this dot when you make a constructor function about some object. The x is going to be 0, the y is going to be 0, and we'll have a direction which is gonna be this dot x speed, which is gonna equal 1 for now, and this dot y speed is gonna equal 0. And we can now say that I want this dot update to be equal to a function. So I want a update function, I create a variable update which is a function, and this means that I want the this dot x to be equal to this dot x plus this dot x speed, and the same thing about this dot y equals this dot y plus this dot y speed. And finally we can say that I want a function called this dot show, and is gonna equal a function, and it's going to say like some kind of a white rectangle like with fill 255. I want a rectangle at this dot x, this dot y positions, and I wanted about 2020. So actually when I hit refresh, I should see my snake moving. No, actually I won't see any change. I will not see anything. And what the problem is, I haven't linked the constructor snake function to the sketch. So how we're going to do this, you can say I want a snake variable. I create a snake variable, and here I can say that the snake equals a new snake. And now again I won't see any change. In draw I should say s dot update s dot show, snake, because in the previous project I called it as snake dot show. And now I can actually see my square. Why is it not moving? Because I should say plus, I maybe mistyped, and here it is, like my snake is actually moving. Cool. So what we should create, so just a second with my problematic setup. Now we can create the location of the candy. I can look at my original project, like where the candy will be generated. So I can create a function called maybe like pick location. It's going to pick location. Actually, the idea of the snake game is that I should make my canvas like on columns and rows, and this square right here is going to move to the next column or row, not like on the next pixel. So we should create this like moving, not really smooth, like by frames, instead of this smooth moving. So how we're going to create this, I can make a function, a variable called Oh my god, the setup is awful. In Sketch, I can create a variable scale, which is going to be equal to 20, and what I can do is, what can I do? I can say that I want this this dot x speed times scale, and this dot y speed times scale. So I think this would work. Yes, it's really too fast. So how we're going to slow down the things a little bit? We can say in setup I want the frame rate to be about 5, and here it is. Actually, it's working. So we can actually make our controls. So when we press the down button, it goes down. When we press the left button, it goes left, and so on. So there is a built-in function in P5, which is just see if the stream is live right now. Yeah, it's red for some reason. Why are you red? Okay. This is not a big deal. Okay. So I can create a function. I mean I don't create it. It's already built in P5. So key pressed, and when a certain, and if the key code is equal to up arrow, I should say that I want the snake. I want to set a direction to the snake at about up arrow, so that means 0 minus 1. So what this does is I'm going to go in snake and create a function called, before I update things, this dot direction is gonna equal a function, and it's going to take an x and a y as parameters, and this dot x is gonna equal x, and this dot y is gonna equal y. And when I press the up arrow, it should, why doesn't it turn blue? You should turn blue. Why don't you? I mean dir 0 minus 1. I don't know what actually happened. Maybe because it's a function inside snake. Well, we'll see. So I can say if the key code is equal to down arrow. I hope these are the correct names of the key codes. I want the snake to be set a direction of, so down arrow, that means 0 1, and the same thing about the left and right. Oh boy, I hope these are the correct names. Left arrow, we're gonna have minus 1 0, and here a right arrow at about 1 0. So when I hit refresh, when I press the down button, for some reason every button gets it to a certain position. I don't know why actually, because it should be this dot x speed, like the x and the y should not be moved. We should move the direction. So speed like this. So when I press the down arrow, right, up, left, and we actually move it. So I think it's pretty good what we did right now. How long does the stream? Okay, we're pretty good. So what we can create right now is maybe we should jump to creating the candy. Should we? Yes, we can try. So I'm going to create a function called pick location, and it's going to randomly pick a location, and we'll see how I'm going to create it. So this is going to be a variable called food, and inside the I'm going to create this kind of a function called pick location, and I'm gonna say that the columns, there's a storm outside if you can hear, floor, the width of the window divided by the scale.